Hi Afton, thanks for opting into the video critique here. I think your icons are off to a good start. They feel very cohesive with the color scheme. They're obviously the same theme. I will say I think you need to organize them a little bit better. It's all right if they're on the same artboard, but they need to be sized as if they could fit on the same size kind of area. Okay, so imagine each of these is within its own, maybe it's 2 by 2 inches or something, however you have your artboard set up. They need to be the same size. So see how this one is so small and this one is huge? You want your icons to roughly be the same width and height, okay, which is easy because yours are all circular shapes. But you want them placed on the artboard in a way that's very organized and visually pleasing. So maybe you have this one right here up top, this one underneath it, that one there, and then this one here, and they need to be about the same width. They still need to be aligned on the board so it looks nice and clear and kind of crisp. The alternative to that is you could place each of them on their own little artboard, and then that would also be a possible option. Okay, so just organize them a little bit better because right now they're not looking as much like an icon set because you have this one that's so small, this one that's so large. And so continue to work on that. This one I would clean up a little bit more. See how you have this white space right here? You want to eliminate that. And this one still feels like it doesn't really go as well as the other three. So probably continue to work on this, make it really try to look a little bit more like a flower and make it try to kind of fit these a little bit more. You don't want to do the exact same thing since these are all so similar, but either you need to maybe make one of these a little bit different or make this one a little more similar because it's really standing out as being very different from the other ones. Okay, so organize these well. These might look good with a consistent background, like maybe you have a square with rounded edges that's a light gray in the background or something along those lines. You could even do something cool where you have a background that's a square and maybe half of it is white and half of it is gray. There's like a diagonal in the background or something. Okay, so I think a dark color might kind of make these pop, but you don't want to introduce a new color to your color scheme, which is why I'm saying like a gray would look really good. Or if you really love the background plain, you could keep that same thing, but I think it would add an extra element to your design. Another cool thing you could do is let me see if I can find a good example of this. Something that might be cool is you can make a shadow by pulling the shape off the edge of the page. And since the border of your design is pretty consistent, like it's a repeating pattern, something like this might look kind of cool. So I can't remember if there's still a tutorial for how to do this on the assignment, but you could Google how to make a shadow on an icon set vector, and you probably could easily find instructions for how to do this, or if you decide you want to do it, feel free to email me and I'll find you a good tutorial, okay? But something like this would look cool. See how this background shape really makes a big difference? Now, all these are one color, so I don't think you should do different colors, but it makes them feel a little bit more cohesive. They're all the same size, they have a consistent background, and there's some cool kind of element. Now, another thing is you could go icon set shadow, which is what I was initially thinking is like a split. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, I'm not seeing one popping out at me. Oh, here we go, like this. This would look really good with your flower. See how there's a line down the center of this and it's slightly darker on one side, so it adds dimension to what otherwise would be a flat shape. Now your flowers are pretty straightforward, so it would look really good to have this kind of line somewhere. You could make it like a diagonal line on your flowers. like it could go across them, and the right side could be a little bit darker of a color, which would look really cool. Um, and so continue to play around. There are some possible options that'll make these look like the next level. Okay, so they're good. They're just a little straightforward right now. There's nothing really exciting about them that's compelling you to want to look at them for more than a few minutes. So that's the next step. So you're heading in the right direction, format them the same way, and then think if there's something that you want to do that you lean toward from those examples I showed you that will take these to the next level. All right, thanks, Afton.